A dark throne stands at the center of everything, and sitting on it is L, calm, barefoot, watching. Behind him, shadows of power rise like silent guardians. Light on one side, Misa on the other, and above them all, the symbol of justice hangs heavy in the background, as if the entire world is being judged. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are stepping into Death Note Chapter 13, the countdown. And from this point forward, the game becomes even more dangerous. The mind games we have witnessed so far were only the beginning. The thin line between trust and suspicion is slowly starting to crack. Light is preparing his next move. L is tightening his hold. Every action is calculated. Every silence carries weight. This is no longer just an investigation. It is a clash of egos, a war of intelligence. And in this game, there is absolutely no room for mistakes. So let's begin Chapter 13, the countdown. The first panel opens in darkness. A girl is walking away from us. Her back is turned. The background is completely black, like the world around her has already been erased. Bright, sharp rays explode behind her silhouette. She has to be eliminated. The words feel cold. Final. There is no hesitation in that thought. The next panel shifts outdoors. A quiet street. Sidewalk tiles beneath their feet. She walks beside a young man with light hair. His expression looks calm, but his eyes are thinking far ahead. How she figured it out is beside the point. Everything this woman knows is true. His face remains composed, but inside, calculations are running. The scene cuts closer to him. If this information reaches the police, it won't take them long to figure out that Light Yagami is Kira. The name hangs heavy in the air. The final panel zooms in on his eye. Wide, focused, sharp. The calm mask cracks for just a second. A single realization flashes through him. This is no longer a small problem. This is a threat. And threats must be dealt with. The sterile lobby of the NPA building lingers in memory-polished floors, rigid walls, and security camera fixed high above, silent and unblinking. On a bench below, Light Yagami sits beside Naomi Misora, their figures small beneath the weight of surveillance. Light's face fills the foreground, now sharp eyes, composed expression, every movement measured with surgical precision. There is no panic in him. Only calculation. When I spoke to her in the NPA building to catch her interest, I made sure that my back was to the security camera. He had thought of everything. The angle, the distance, the blind spot. There's no way they could read my lips from that angle. His gaze remained steady, confidence rooted not in chance, but in planning. A surveillance camera dominates the frame, cold and mechanical. Its lens stares outward, capturing everything and understanding nothing. Light's reasoning unfolds with quiet certainty. Plus, security cameras are there just for surveillance. If nothing unusual happens, the tape won't be inspected. Procedure, routine, human laziness disguised as system efficiency. Then, the final layer of his calculation settles in. So, unless this woman dies right here, or gets involved in some incident, the police will never rewind that tape to look it over. There is no emotion in the thought, only strategy. Snow falls softly along the city street, blanketing the pavement in white silence. Tall buildings rise behind them, the world continuing its ordinary rhythm. Light Yagami walks beside Naomi Misora. His posture is relaxed, hands in his coat pockets, expression attentive but controlled. Naomi turns slightly away, dark hair framing her calm yet distant face. Oh, nothing. A small pause hangs between them. Light looks at her carefully, studying her reaction, his voice measured. What's the matter? The snow continues to fall quiet, delicate while beneath that calm surface, tension lingers, invisible yet unmistakable. The winter air hangs still around them, the quiet street framed by pale light and long shadows. Light's face is calm, composed, almost gentle. His eyes hold steady as he speaks, voice measured and reflective. I've just been thinking over what you said. There's a brief pause, just enough to suggest careful consideration. And I'm really starting to be convinced you're right. We should investigate this theory as soon as possible. He sounds reasonable, cooperative, almost reassuring. Across from him, the young woman studies his expression closely. Her posture is upright, guarded, but not hostile. You think so? A beat passes. No hesitation in his reply. Yes, nothing more. Just that single word, firm and controlled. Her eyes narrow slightly, cautious now. Have you told anybody else? There a faint tension in her face, a subtle worry beneath the question. No, you're the first one. His answer comes smoothly, without a flicker of doubt. Behind Light, unseen by her, a towering, grotesque figure looms with a crooked grin and glowing eyes. Ryuk watches with unmistakable amusement. Light doesn't even glance back. I don't need you to tell me that. Ryuk. His tone is low, controlled. Ryuk leans in closer, delight curling in his voice. Edge. Lucky break. But how you gonna offer? Wouldn't be a good idea to do it right here. The contrast between Light's calm exterior and the sinister whisper behind him is chilling. A close-up of a pen poised above paper. Finger steady, intent precise. Oh, here it comes. Ryuk's anticipation vibrates in the air as the pen begins to move. Light stands facing her, notebook open in his hand, expression neutral, almost studious. Could you tell me the date and time of that buzzjacking? She answers plainly, unaware of the weight behind the question. December 20th. The words feel ordinary, routine, yet something irreversible is unfolding. From a distance, the two appear like any pair of students on a quiet sidewalk. She walks toward him, unaware. He looks down at the page, pen in hand, movements controlled and deliberate. Snow-dusted ground, calm sky, an ordinary day. But beneath that calm, a decision has already been written. A notebook rests firmly in his hand, the page already filled with neat, unwavering handwriting. The metal band of his watch glints softly under the light as his pen lingers near the paper, as if sealing fate with ink. On the page, written with deliberate clarity, Shoko Maki, suicide, starting at 1:15 p.m. on January 1st, 2004. Thinks only of how best to commit suicide in such a way that nobody will be inconvenienced and her body will not be discovered, and dies by implementing this plan within 48 hours. The words are cold, methodical. There is no tremor in the lines, only precision. Behind him, a tall, skeletal figure leans forward from the shadows, its jagged teeth exposed in a stretched, delighted grin. Its eyes gleam with morbid amusement as it studies the written fate. It chuckles, voice dripping with fascination. This woman seems to be intelligent. This way, they won't find her for a while. The grin sharpens, and even if her body turns UP eventually, they'll think she did it because her fiancé died. The young man doesn't flinch. His eyes remain lowered to the notebook, calm and calculating, absorbing the implications without emotion. Then, from the left panel, his voice cuts in composed. That's a lot more Hayek's than usual. Ryuk, what's so funny? His expression is steady, analytical, almost mildly curious. Behind him, the grinning figure lingers in the darkness, clearly amused, while the quiet weight of what has just been written settles into the room. They stand outside in the cold, a muted winter light washing over the concrete and the building behind them. She faces him, her black jacket catching faint highlights, her posture guarded but sincere. He answers calmly, without hesitation. Thank you. If you like, I'll tell the task force what you just told me. Between them, a quiet pause lingers, the small speech bubble hanging in the air. The silence feels heavier than words. A close-up of her face. Her dark eyes lower slightly, conflicted yet resolute. She speaks carefully, as if weighing each word. I can't believe nobody would return to the task force office all day, and I really would prefer to tell them myself. There a firmness beneath the softness of her expression. And now that you say you agree, the sooner the better. Her decision sounds final, practical, urgent. They walk side by side now, the building stretching behind them. He responds simply, composed as ever. Yes, of course. She adds, polite but distancing herself slightly. But thank you for offering. Their footsteps feel synchronized, but something unspoken hangs between them. A close-up of his face. His eyes shift subtly, focused inward. A quiet thought surfaces. 10 more seconds. His expression remains calm, almost gentle, but there's calculation beneath it. She stands alone in the frame now, hands in her jacket pockets, unaware. His internal voice overlays the moment. I'd love to see how this woman decides to kill herself, but the words trail, controlled. Now that she's suddenly popped UP, I have other things I need to take care of. The atmosphere tightens. The distance between them feels deliberate. A sharp close-up of his face. A faint, controlled smile curves at the edge of his lips. His gaze is steady, certain. A small box notes the time there. It's 1:15. And then, with quiet finality, go meet your maker, lady. His expression does not waver. The winter air feels colder. They walk quietly along the pavement, the city moving around them, as if nothing in the world is wrong. They will catch Kira, won't they? Her question lands gently, but it carries weight. For a split second, Light's composure falters. He answers quickly, steadying himself. Yeah. His voice sounds calm, almost reassuring. But inside, something is beginning to shift. He glances down at his watch, the ticking suddenly louder in his mind. What's going on? A faint crease forms near his brow. It's already 1:17. The time has passed. It should have happened by now. Naomi notices the subtle change in him. They continue walking, yet the silence between them grows heavier with every step. A thin bead of sweat trails down Light's face. That's weird. Why isn't this woman taking off? This was supposed to be precise, controlled, immediate. In his mind, the rules replay themselves with absolute clarity. Writing suicide as the cause of death is enough. I've already tested that with prisoners. I just wrote suicide and they hanged themselves right on the dot. The experiments had proven it. Every single time. And the details are totally within reasonable bounds. I've proved that lots of times. So why? The logic is flawless. And yet, nothing is happening. For the first time, the perfect plan feels uncertain. Footsteps scrape softly against the pavement as two figures walk beneath a dim, overcast sky. A faint rustling of movement breaks the stillness. Light walks beside her, his expression tight, eyes shadowed with calculation rather than calm. A bead of sweat traces down his cheek as a single, troubled thought surfaces. Why? His gaze hardens, doubt creeping in where certainty once ruled. Why isn't IT happening the way I wrote it? They continue forward, the air between them heavy and unspoken. Behind the quiet rhythm of their steps, something feels misaligned, subtly, disturbingly wrong. In the darkness, just beyond human sight, glowing eyes peer down with amusement. Light's voice drops, low and controlled, but edged with suspicion. Ryuk. The Shinigami's grin stretches wide, jagged teeth bared as his shoulders twitch with grotesque delight. The sound echoes in Light's memory, unsettling, out of place. Come to think of it, he was laughing like crazy when I wrote her name down earlier. Light's eyes narrow further as realization begins threading itself together. The laughter hadn't been random. It hadn't been meaningless. And not just when I wrote her name. His thoughts sharpen, dissecting every detail. There was something about the way he laughed when she told me her name, too. A close-up of his eye reveals the shift, confusion turning into suspicion, suspicion inching toward revelation. What's so funny about her name, Dash? The question lingers in the cold air, unanswered, as tension coils tighter around him. A sudden clarity slices through the fog of uncertainty, and Light's eyes widen as the truth snaps into place. It's an alias. The realization hits him with force, his jaw tightening as everything begins to align. It's gotta be. His gaze sharpens, intensity returning to his expression as he pieces the logic together with cold precision. Ryuk's eyes can see the woman's real name, so that's why he was laughing. The memory of that grotesque grin resurfaces, those gleaming eyes, that twisted amusement. It hadn't been random. It had been knowledge. She's been incredibly cautious from the start. A brief image of her composed face lingers in his mind. Careful, guarded, always one step restrained. Nothing about her had been careless. An image flashes in his mind. An identification card, bold letters stamped across it. Investigation. FBI. The pieces connect with ruthless logic. Of course, she believes that Rai was killed because he showed his ID. His eyes narrow again, determination overtaking frustration as the pattern becomes undeniable. So she's keeping her identity a secret. The silence that follows is tight, suffocating. His thoughts churn relentlessly, but the obstacle remains. Damn, how do I find out her real name, now that she's given me a fake one? A dark wave of calculation rolls through Light's mind, cold and immediate. I've already asked her once. I can't ask her again. His expression remains composed, but behind his steady gaze, tension tightens its grip. It'll only make her suspicious. Plus, why would I know the name she gave me before was fake? Every option feels like a trap. One wrong move and everything collapses. She slows slightly beside him, her voice calm, almost casual. I think I'll go back. Someone might be there by now. Light turns his head toward her, caught slightly off guard. Huh? For a fraction of a second, silence stretches between them. Crap. His jaw tightens almost imperceptibly. It would be weird if I tried to stop her. He forces his features to soften, masking the storm underneath. You're right. Let's hope so. Anyway, a faint pause follows. Yes, they resume walking, but the air has changed. The distance between them feels sharper now, more dangerous. Inside, his thoughts begin to spiral faster than he can control. Oh, damn. I promised her I'd let her talk to my father if he called me. A flip phone rests in his pocket, suddenly heavier than before. If the phone rings, it's all over. What do I do? His pulse quickens. What's the matter with me? I'm panicking. He lowers his gaze slightly, steadying his breath. All I have to do is turn off the phone. The solution is simple, obvious. Yet even as the thought settles in, the tension refuses to loosen. The street stretches ahead of them, ordinary and unaware of the silent battle unfolding within Light's mind. A car passes, the faint sound cutting briefly through the air. Beep. They continue walking side by side, but his thoughts are no longer steady. A thin line of sweat forms near his temple. Now what? His eyes narrow slightly, calculations colliding with urgency. If I let her go back there, the possibility hangs heavily in his mind, dangerous and unresolved. He lowers his gaze for a moment, forcing his breathing to slow. Just calm down. His shoe presses against the pavement, grounding himself in the present. All I have to do is find out her name. The solution sounds simple when reduced to words, yet it feels impossibly distant. Ahead of him, she walks with measured steps, unaware of the storm behind her. His eyes shift subtly toward her back. Her purse, pockets. His stare sharpens, assessing. She's got to have a driver's license or some kind of ID on her. The thought forms with cold practicality. He lifts his gaze again, face tightening with resolve. She's a woman. The words are clinical, detached, part of a calculation, not emotion. A darker option surfaces, and he does not look away from it. If I have to, I can use force. The air feels heavier after that thought settles. He walks on, outwardly composed, inwardly standing at the edge of a choice that grows more dangerous with every step. They continue down the sidewalk, their footsteps steady against the cold pavement. The city feels muted, the air thin and winter dry. No, it's pretty deserted because of New Year's, but there are people around. Can't cause a disturbance. Light's eyes scan the surroundings without turning his head fully. Apartment buildings, scattered pedestrians in the distance, open visibility everywhere. The security camera recorded me with this woman just 10 minutes ago. Let's not forget that. The reminder tightens his jaw. Every move is being measured now, not just by him, but potentially by unseen observers. Ahead of him, she walks with composed steps, unaware of the storm building behind her. Take her someplace. The thought forms, tempting but reckless. Where? Under what pretext? This ultra-cautious woman? He immediately tears the idea apart. She isn't careless. She isn't naive. Any strange suggestion would only alert her. There's no believable excuse strong enough to move her somewhere secluded. For a brief second, frustration flickers behind his composed expression. No, I've got to go at this from another angle. His breathing steadies. Panic is useless. Force is reckless. He needs strategy. I know I can do it. Find a way to make her tell me her real name. Confidence returns, not arrogance, but cold belief in his own intellect. There's always a solution. There has to be. Behind him, almost lazily hovering in the air, Ryuk leans closer, yellow eyes gleaming with amusement. Hey, Light. We can do that ideal anytime, you know. Light doesn't react outwardly, but the offer lands heavily in his mind. It's like putting in contact lenses. Takes just a few seconds. The words linger. Simple, easy, immediate access to the truth. Light's eyes remain forward, expression unreadable. The shortcut is right there, but so is the cost. And he keeps walking. Ryuk's jagged grin stretches wider in the shadows, his glowing eyes gleaming with mockery. You kidding me? Give UP half my lifetime for this woman? Light doesn't even look at him. His voice is cold, absolute. Or for anything else? No, I'm never making that deal, period. The irritation breaks through. His eyes flash with anger as he snaps, just shut UP, Shinigami. Leave me alone. The tension shifts outdoors beneath the looming facade of the NPA building. Light stands facing her, momentarily caught off guard. She tilts her head slightly, watching him. Yes? Her gaze remains steady as she asks, do you need to go back to the NPA too? There is no trace of doubt in her posture, only quiet reassurance. Because I'll be fine on my own. A small silence settles between them. Light lifts his eyes, his expression smoothing back into composure. Oh, of course. Snow drifts quietly across the grey sky, brushing against the towering face of the building. The structure rises cold and immovable, its windows reflecting a pale winter light. Everything feels still, suspended in a hush that presses against the city. Inside, the air is heavy with restraint. L sits perched on the edge of the sofa, knees drawn close, barefoot and hunched, his sharp eyes studying every face in the room. The others sit formally around the low table, cups and saucers untouched, shoulders tense beneath their suits. L speaks first, his tone calm, almost gentle despite the weight of the moment. I'm very sorry for interrogating each of you like that, but now I can say. He pauses, finger resting lightly against his lips, gaze unwavering. Kira Ayas not here among us. A ripple of surprise moves through the room. One of the men leans forward slightly, brows knitting together as he searches Ella's face for certainty. Ryusuke, What makes you so sure of that? The question hangs in the quiet room, mingling with the faint clink of porcelain and the soft rustle of fabric. L remains crouched, eyes wide and reflective, his expression unreadable as the tension settles into a deeper, more complicated silence. L is dark, eyes narrow slightly, a faint, knowing curve touching his lips. His voice remains calm, almost conversational. Well, to put it simply, I had prepared a little trick to test whether you were Kira. He holds their gaze without blinking, letting the implications settle over the room like a thin layer of frost. Then, just as evenly, he adds, "But I didn't even feel the need to use it on any of you." Across from him, the men sit stiffly on the sofa. One stares ahead in stunned silence. Another's brows lift behind his glasses. A third's eyes widen slightly, all of them absorbing what he has just revealed. No one speaks. The weight of his confidence presses against them. A sudden sound slices through the stillness. Beep, 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 beep. The sharp electronic tone repeats insistently. L glances down toward his pocket. "Excuse me." Beside him, one of the investigators looks over, confused and slightly indignant. "Hey, after telling US to turn off our phones." L has already lifted the phone to his ear, posture still hunched, expression unchanged. His voice is quiet, direct. "Fine. We've just finished. Too. Use your own key to let yourself in." A brief pause as he listens. Then, without looking up, he announces to the room, "Vatari I is here." The atmosphere shifts again, subtle, but unmistakable. Several heads turn toward the door. The teacups on the table sit untouched, steam long faded as anticipation gathers in the silence. The door opens without hesitation, and an elderly gentleman steps in as though he owns the rhythm of the room. His black suit is immaculate, his posture upright, his movements deliberate. He lifts his hat with composed courtesy, cane tucked neatly in one hand, suitcase steady in the other. His presence is calm, almost ceremonial, as his voice breaks the silence with polished civility. "Good afternoon, gentlemen." The greeting lands softly, but the air tightens instantly. Across the room, a young man sits crouched, chin resting against clasped fingers, eyes sharp and unblinking. He does not speak. He studies. The smallest details are measured and filed away behind that quiet stare. Then the reaction hits. Several men jolt in disbelief, faces drained of composure. Shock ripples across their expressions, mouths slightly open, eyes wide. The room that moments ago felt controlled now hums with exposed tension. The elderly gentleman closes his eyes briefly, as if disappointed by something obvious. His tone remains steady, almost instructional, cutting through the unrest with calm precision. Coming here dressed in that get-up is like holding a sign saying, "I'm Vera." People would guess right away that Ryusuke is in this hotel. The words fall like a verdict. No shouting, no theatrics, just a clean, undeniable truth placed at the center of the room. And in that stillness, everyone understands the mistake. The elderly man stands with his back partially turned to the room, his posture steady, his presence composed and authoritative. The men seated before him watch with cautious attention, their earlier shock now settling into wary focus. His voice is calm, deliberate, revealing something far more significant than mere courtesy. The fact that I can show my face to you like this is the proof that Ryusuke trusts you. The words hang in the air, heavy with implication. Across the table, cups of untouched coffee sit forgotten. Shoulders stiffen. Eyes shift between one another as the meaning sinks in. A hesitant response breaks the silence. Yes, I guess so." Their agreement is uneasy, almost automatic, as is spoken before they fully process the weight of what has just been said. Without ceremony, the elderly man kneels slightly and sets the metal case before the young man seated low on the couch. His movements are precise, controlled, He opens it carefully. I've brought what you asked for, Ryusuke. Inside, neatly arranged against dark velvet lining, gleam polished badges, each one identical, official, unmistakable. Could you hand them out? Then, the young man, hunched forward with sharp, restless eyes, stares at the contents of the case. He remains silent, absorbing the gesture, calculating its necessity. A clear declaration follows, firm and practical. These are your new IDs. For a heartbeat, no one speaks. The badges catch the light, symbols of authority, now handed to them in secrecy. Then the reaction bursts out. New IDs? Faces turn pale. Eyes widen again. The shift from suspicion to realization is immediate. This is not a simple precaution. It is preparation for something deeper, something far more dangerous. And in the quiet that follows, the gravity of their new roles settles firmly into place. The badge is held up between steady fingers, its polished surface reflecting the room's tense stillness. The photograph and title look official, precise, convincing. Yet Ellis' quiet voice strips away the illusion. Both the name and rank are bogus. The false identity, Captain Shudo Asahi, is nothing more than a constructed shield. Nearby, Aizawa and Matsuda stare down at the identification cards in their hands, their expressions tightening as the truth settles in. Fake IDs. The words leave Matsuda's mouth with a mixture of disbelief and unease. L remains crouched on the couch, knees drawn up, porcelain cup resting lightly in his fingers. He takes a measured sip of coffee, dark eyes focused and unblinking. His tone is calm, analytical, as though explaining a simple equation. Kira needs to know both name and face to commit murder. He lowers the cup slightly, gaze sharpening. Sure, we're risking our lives, but why make it easy for him? This is an obvious step to take. No one interrupts him. The logic is clean, brutally practical. Matsuda shifts nervously, gripping his ID a little too tightly. Yes, but I don't know about cops using false IDs. His hesitation hangs in the air, not defiant but conflicted. Years of training push against the idea of deception. Aizawa adjusts his glasses, just setting as he considers the situation more seriously. No, if Kira needs to know people's names to kill them, these may help save our lives. The room grows quieter, the moral discomfort giving way to survival instinct. Soichiro Yagami studies the badge in his hand, the responsibility heavy behind his composed expression. We should use these instead of our real ones. There's a brief pause, then agreement, steady and resolute. I agree. Me too. One by one, doubt is replaced with determination. The false names no longer feel like dishonor. In Ellis' calculated war against Kira, they are protection. And in this battle, protection means life. Snow falls in thin, quiet streaks as Light Yagami walks beside the woman dressed in black. His expression remains composed, but his thoughts move sharply beneath the surface. A fake name, cool as a cucumber when she gave it, too. He watches her from the corner of his eye. No hesitation, no nervous shift in her posture. She had delivered the alias flawlessly. She turns toward him with polite sincerity, her voice calm. Thank you for all your help. Light answers smoothly, his tone measured and gracious. Thanks to you. Now I'm sure I'm on the right track. There is not a flicker of suspicion in his expression. Her response is immediate, steady. Not at all. The snow continues to fall as they walk beneath dim streetlights, their footsteps soft against the pavement. Behind them, Ryuk trails along, towering and amused, unseen by anyone but Light. That Ryuk brought UP the ideal clinches it. She definitely gave me an alias. Light's gaze hardens almost imperceptibly. And if she goes back and tells the task force Kira was probably on that bus, that, together with RIPE and BR surveillance, will make me an immediate suspect. Each possibility aligns neatly in his mind, every risk unfolding with precision. She'll reach the NPA building in about 5 minutes. His thoughts accelerate, but his face remains calm. Think, how do I find out her name in 5 minutes? The night offers no answer, only the ticking pressure of time closing in. Here the chapter ends. A note for Death Note readers. How to use it. The Death Note will not affect those under 780 days old. The Death Note will be rendered useless if the victim's name is misspelled 4 times.